Live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon and welcome on another magical live safari here in the middle of the African bush, because this is Safari Live.
Ready. Standing by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are live, you are live. And another very good afternoon to all of you watching across the corners of the globe, and welcome to the Sunset Safari, coming to you live from Djuma, Arathusa and Cheetah Plains Game Reserves in the Sabi Sand in the Greater Kruger National Park area of South Africa. So right up in the top northeastern corner. My name is Jamie. This afternoon I have VM on camera with me, and Jerry sitting on the back. Jerry, of course, our wonderful, multi-talented producer who keeps the wheels turning when they're all threatening to fall off. Not only are we live, but we're also interactive, which means that you can send through your questions on hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or you can email through to questions@WildEarthTV. Oh, good news or bad news? The good news is that Wendy lives. The bad news is that Rusty's just died. Well, not died. Rusty's not dead. Rusty, by the way, is one of the other vehicles. Rusty is currently not working. She won't start. She's decided to go on strike. I'm not quite sure what that means for poor Brent and Genre. Perhaps they won't miss out on the Sunset Safari, but they will be a little bit late. None of us are entirely sure how it happened, but somehow Rusty just... Nope. Not having any of it. But the good news is that we are on Wendy and we're trundling out and about trying to decide where to go for the afternoon. I was, of course, going to trundle off to Cheetah Plains. That was going to be my mission. That might still happen, but that depends very much on how long Brent takes to come out, because otherwise I have to go through some signal black dips, black holes I suppose is a better way of phrasing it, down into the Mulwanini, which means I'd disappear, and without Brent, well, such is life. The inimitable Mr. Henry is on leave. Taylor is also on well-earned leave, as is Brian, Dave. We're back down to skeleton crew for now. But that's okay, because and Louise, and just multiple people. There's just a few of us stalwarts left back on the ground. Rehearsals are over for now, which means you are back to your normal scheduling for the time being, which means 3 hours in the afternoon and 3 hours in the morning, so your sunset drive will not be cut short this afternoon. And without any further ado, let us go and see what we can find. I almost want to play the Guess the Antelope game, which I haven't played in a very long time, and it can't really be done by giving answers and then revealing them a moment later. You just all have to play it at home, where we only show you the legs of the antelope and nothing else. You have to guess from just the legs what it is. I was inspired by VM's opening shot this afternoon of the kudu's legs. But let's see if we can find something for you to guess at. Should we go down Ingwe Alley? Doesn't look like anyone's been down there. And depending upon Brent's timetable and what's happening on his side, we will probably pop into the Lions and see if they've perhaps moved into a slightly better position than they were in this morning. The Nkuhumas were in a very, very thick block. There's also the mystery of Queen Karula to be solved. We know that Karula was seen on the dam camera with her 2 gorgeous 8-month-old cubs. Karula is a leopard, for those of you who are unfamiliar. So Karula was seen on the dam camera 2 mornings ago, and where she's gone since then is a mystery. We're starting to think she might be in Buffelshoek, but she might just be hanging out in some impenetrable vegetation with the kill. So keep your eyes on the dam camera. We'll definitely, one of us will be lurking around there this afternoon, in the hopes that perhaps she might come and have a drink. Aha! Oh, wonderful! What good timing. Or not, because she's cross. I was about to say, what wonderful timing. No, girl. It's okay. It's alright. You can carry on with your mud bath. See, we've stopped far away from you. What's this silliness now? Okay. It's okay. Okay, you can immediately see that this cow is feeling a little bit nervous and threatened. It's probably because it's very gusty weather. I've also noticed a lot of low-flying helicopters, which make a huge amount of noise, are absolutely necessary as a part of the management of the Sabi Sand Game Reserve, but it does... Oh, they're talking a lot. You can just hear the low rumbles. It does upset the elephants in particular. I don't really want to make an approach at the moment. She's given us a very clear sign in elephant language that she doesn't want us any closer. A sign that I'm going to take seriously. Hey, big girl. Don't get cross. It's fine. We're not doing anything. Just sitting. There you go. I know what's happened. I know why they're so unsettled as well. This herd must have come from where the lions were. This trajectory seems to be exactly right, and I did hear one very angry trumpet a little bit earlier while I was sitting at Inge's house, and I think that's probably an explanation behind why they are so uncomfortable. Either that or they smell the lions, but they don't know exactly where they are. Hey, big girls. Can't really play the leg game with elephants, can you? They sort of take up most of the frame. Besides, they're very recognizable, yes. There's not much out here with legs shaped quite like an elephant. I think they're lovely. But they are solid. They are solidly built animals. Nope, these Ellies are not having any of it. Dashing down into the dip. I have to tell you that descent that they've just done is unbelievably steep. You and I would probably struggle to get down there without slipping over a few times, and they've just taken it in their stride. It's very difficult for you to get a sense of, or a perspective of it, but it is very, very steep, which is why naturally it is one of Queen Karula's favourite spots. Now, Emma in Australia, lovely question coming through from you, because of course we had the ears out display from that female. He wants to know if elephants will communicate more vocally or is it mostly body language. I would say it's probably a 70-30 split, 70 being body language and 30 maybe being vocalizations. But that being said, that comes from a very human perspective, because I don't speak the nuances of elephant. Here we go, we've got one hidden away there. Maybe they'll give us another rumble. Oh, the body language, I think there is far more to it than we realize. I also think, sorry Brent, stand by one. I also think that in terms of vocalizations, there's a lot of it that we can't hear. So it's difficult to tell exactly what they're saying to each other. I think in the next 50 years we're going to discover all kinds of things. But for now we've got the basics. A head up and open ears means hey, don't come any closer. And we take it from there. Whether it's swinging... I've heard of being able to read... Joyce Poole, for example, who spent a lot of time with elephants. She's learned to read the indecision in just the twirl of the tip of a trunk, which I think is incredible. Now just bear with me 1 second while you've got this amazing view of an elephant in some trees, and let me just chat to Brent quickly on the Game Drive channel. Standing by. Brent, we've got the comms box. It was from Wendy initially, but we were plugging straight into the comms box. Copy. Just describing some of the more technological parts of putting Jigger back together and ready to drive once again. Ephraim. Sorry everybody, I just need to communicate with some of the other guides. Afternoon Ephraim. Were there any updates from CP from this morning? Copy that, thanks. No updates from our side, just Flammy and Love, static feeding round Philemon's dip. Copy. Right, I apologize for that prolonged conversation. What shall we do? Shall we continue on, see if there's more elephants that perhaps are slightly more receptive to our advances? I know what that was all about. Just an unsettled day, I guess. And it is very warm out here. Well, warmer than it has been. It's 29 degrees centigrade, which is around 84 in Fahrenheit. So nice and warm after our cold snap. Let's go and see what we can find. Cameron, who is 9 years old. Hello, Cameron. I hope you enjoyed that brief elephant sight. Cameron, you are a very clever little boy, because you figured out exactly what the veins in the elephant's ears do. So Cameron wanted to know, do the veins in the elephant's ears cool them down? That's exactly what they do. So the skin in the ears is really, really thin compared to the rest of the elephant's body. And the blood is very close to the surface, because you saw the veins there. You could actually see the veins of the elephant. So that means that the blood travels close to the surface. And so when the elephant flaps its ears, the hot warmth from the blood goes out into the air, and the coolness from the air flows into the blood, and the blood cools down and flows through the rest of the elephant's body, and therefore manages to cool the elephant down very, very well. So well done, Cameron. You're a very clever gentleman. I am impressed. That is what elephants' ears do. Interestingly enough, if you look at how certain ecologists and biologists who really closely study elephants identify individual elephants, because of course the nicks and the scars in their ears change over time, as do their tusks as they grow. If you look really carefully at them on a really close-up level, the venation of the ears, so the pattern of the blood vessels, is unique like a fingerprint to each and every single elephant. I wonder what the chances are that this is going to flick up and hit me, either me or Viam. Let's find out very gently. Not too bad. Well done, Wendy. Your first big obstacle of your, not quite maiden voyage, but almost. Okie dokie. Right, and I think another nice challenge for this afternoon will be, it's a bit tricky to try and find some birds, but let's see if we can at least get a new cuckoo, or at least new for this season, a new cuckoo species on camera. I saw some red-chested swallows yesterday on the sunset safari, so there's definitely the return of quite a few of the migratory species. Sure. Apparently Brent is nearly ready. He's just going to get an earpiece from Inges. If he were to have a look perhaps on the dashboard of my vehicle at a DRC, my personal car, he might find one with slightly more ease. And just a casual message there to Kirst to pass on to Brent. He will find an earpiece in my car. The car that he would use to take to Inges to fetch his earpiece. Just to clarify. Right in front of him. Right in front of him. As in on the dashboard in front of him. So while he disappears off to Inges to go and fetch his earpiece, let's go and see if we can figure out where these lions are. Afternoon, yours. Brent's just gone off the vehicle for the moment. Your Smeningi and Love around all of Djuma. I've just had some on Philemon's Dip. I'm just going to check up on those Ngala, see if the visual's slightly better from this morning. No problem. So just chatting to Yort. Many of you will know who Yort is. He's one of the landowners of Buffelshoek, which is the property to the north of us. And he just wanted to know if we had any updates for him. I don't know where these lions are. Oops. I haven't got a clue. I'm guessing somewhere here. I think we'll figure it out from the vehicle tracks. Just bear with me one moment. I'm just concentrating to see exactly where they've gone in. This is an incredibly tricky patch of vegetation that all sort of borders a river system known as the Mulwati drainage line. And I say river system as though it has water flowing through it. I think the only time it ever flows is when there's exceptional amounts of rain, which of course we have not had over the past months since I've been living on Djuma. So I'm still waiting to see the Mulwati drainage flow. I'm looking forward to it. I think it would be quite amazing to see. Right. My guess is they are somewhere in here. Just checking to see if Mr. and Mrs. Wahlberg's in, but they're not. Nobody's home. All is quiet at the Wahlberg's Eagle Nest. I did drive past there yesterday afternoon, which does mean that... Oh, and I saw one of them sitting on the eggs, incubating them, which means they have laid. Or probably on an afternoon like this afternoon, possibly even shading eggs. So they have laid their eggs. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Mr. and Mrs. Wahlberg actually managed to raise a chick this year. Okay, well, since we're here anyway, let's pop in. I do still want to go to Cheetah Plains. Apparently Brent is on his way, but let's pop in and see what the lions are up to. And then we'll swap out with Brent and he can take over. I see. Well, in that case, Brent is out and about. I'm going to start making my way to Cheetah Plains, and I will catch up with you shortly.
Well, welcome. Sorry about Gendre and myself's belated start. If you're wondering who myself is, I am, of course, Brent. And we have some Impala wandering around in front of me. And we're on our live afternoon drive.
Brent, I'll just take our way here in case you weren't out. There's lots of people around and at least one set of tracks coming out. Did you know?
Here we go. And unfortunately, we do have open comms on this vehicle. So that was Jamie letting me know. And... where'd they go? Right in front of us. Now, one of the things you develop as you live in the bush for a long time is a keen eye. So in the shade, directly in front of us, where we were looking at Impala, about right there, is some, down a little bit. There we go. Some little blue wax balls. Now, even though the wind's blowing, I'm feeling the need for a birding safari. We will obviously check in on the Nkuhumas, but I think it's time to do a little bit of birding. The sunbirds have been avoiding me recently. Now, speaking of birds, one of our firm favourites and one of the noisiest birds out here in the African bush during our summer months is the woodlands kingfisher. Oh, there's a warthog. There's more than one warthog. And Aaron in New Zealand is wondering if we've heard woodlands kingfisher yet. Not yet, Aaron. I think maybe towards the end of the month, if we're lucky. There we go. Last year's baby and mom. There could be a few more around. And isn't it amazing? See how that little one is on its knees there? That's it. Very, very warthog-like posture. So they actually do that so they can get lower down to the ground and use their snout to dig out the roots of the grass. Now, of course, if you had to crawl around on your knees for the majority of your day, it could become quite painful. So even in the womb, there's hardened, thickened skin on their front knees. And so that has become an evolutionary adaptation over many millennia. Well, there's a red-billed hornbill also scuttling about behind the warthog there. But the warthog are definitely grateful for this new green grass. Okay, let's carry on, see what other wonders the early summer has to offer us here in the Sabi Sands Game Reserve, South Africa. Now this is the first time I've been in this vehicle in a very long time. Get a feel for the old girl again. One thing we do love about Jigga, and you can see if I turn the steering wheel a lot, it moves very. So quite a bit of play, let's just leave it at that. Now, as I said, we're going to try start focus on birds, and I have heard a few of the cuckoos calling already, and James Richard would like to know how many potential species of cuckoo could we possibly see out here. He says he's got 3 on his bird list. So the red-chested cuckoo, the Class's cuckoo, the Deirdre's cuckoo, the African cuckoo, the great spotted cuckoo, the Levalon's cuckoo, or striped cuckoo is another name for it, Jacobin cuckoo, possibly emerald cuckoo, European cuckoo, and I might be forgetting 1 or 2, so 9 so far, but give me a second and I'll reach into the recess of my brain and see if I can remember if there are any other cuckoos. I think there might be 1 or 2 that have only been recorded in the Sabi Sands once or twice, so I think like the barred cuckoo, or some of the other rarer cuckoo species, more rare. Well, there's Jamie. Let's see what she's been. Hello.
Hi again, everybody.
Hello, hello.
I didn't go all the way in. There's lots of Ellies in there. And one set of tracks that there's one cub, but were they playing around here?
No, they were fast asleep down there.
Okay, there's a cub track right by your right side.
Oh, look at that. There's 2. Okay. Well, I'll have a look at the other access point if they haven't just moved a little bit that way. If not, I'm going birding.
Well, enjoy.
Enjoy Cheetah Plains.
I'm going to head to Cheetah Plains.
Have fun. Hopefully we'll find a cheetah, because that's something we can't seem to be able to do.
That's very cool.
Yes. Bye, Jerry. Jerry, why are you blushing, Jerry? Jerry's blushing. Bye, Jerry. We do love to embarrass the final control staff at any given opportunity. Okay, so we're just going to have a quick look. Now, as Jamie said, there's a lot of elephants where the lions were. So they could have they could have quite easily moved out. So our dam cam aficionados, please keep a lookout for us. See if the Nkuhumas maybe pop up there a little later if we don't have any luck finding them now. Word on Kula is that she is down south. So she crossed out of Djuma yesterday at some point. But while we have a quick look where the Nkuhumas were, oh, we can see some elephants through the bush. Those must be the ones Jamie was talking about. You got them there, Jean-Andre. The great grey bottom disappearing. Oh, there we go. Oh, the great grey bottom has disappeared. But fortunately, there's a head coming in. So if they happen to find those lines, they definitely might have and chased them off. They probably haven't moved too far, so we will check carefully around here. But while we do that, let's go see what Jamie's plans are on her route down to Cheetah Plains.
My plans are, well, there's no real point to having a plan, is there? So we're just going to keep on going south and see what we encounter along the way. The nice thing is, because we're travelling along the boundary of the Mulwati, perhaps these lions decided to come this way. Who knows? And we might also encounter a whole number of interesting birds and beasts. Just ahead of us is a pan, or a sort of a waterhole. It's quite muddy at the moment. I wouldn't say it's very nice fresh water. But there is a big pan known as Chele Pan, where there's often all kinds of interesting things to be found. So we'll stop off there, see if perhaps there's some old buffalo bulls, or... Oh look, here's a herd of buffalo. See? Hi guys, sorry. Hello. Yes, alright, don't halt your forward motion. I'll just shift around here and be out of your way. Hello. Hello, buffalo. Wow. Apparently there's a huge herd on its way to Djuma Dam. It's the one thing that we have noticed is the return of the breeding herds. It feels like it's been months that we've had this many buffalo wandering about, and now all of a sudden they're all back at exactly the same time. As to why or how or what guides them, apart of course from food. This is interesting. So, wherever the lions may be, we've got buffaloes in the south going north, and buffaloes north going south. Might even be worth sticking around a little bit, because even though it's warm this afternoon, who knows where this is going to go. Shame, some of these buffalo are still looking so incredibly thin. A sea of buffalo parting around us. Hello, girls. Yes. Lots of skinny rib cages and hips showing, so they haven't recovered just yet from the effects of the drought, even though the grasses have started to go green and to grow again. And these poor herds of buffalo that we're seeing at the moment, I would say... Oh, panic! Mass panic all of a sudden. I would say that these poor herds of buffalo have been well and truly traumatized by the Nkuhumas. I have seen so many lone females, random tiny little herds of 10 or a couple of buffalo. They've clearly had some miserable experiences right now because, of course, with this little water around, they're forced to go towards the pan, and that's exactly where the Nkuhumas have been living. Though this may well be the herd that lost a member. Gee, they're still going. And the herd that lost its member over to the Nkuhumas on Gowrie Cut Line. Any stragglers before I move and block them from the rest of the herd? Don't think so. No, I think that's it. Poor things. Windy day, jumpy, they can probably smell lions everywhere because the lions were clearly around this area last night. I could see their tracks earlier. Must be a very scary thing being a buffalo. Now, I was going to race off to Cheetah Plains. The fact that there are 2 separate herds of buffalo heading straight towards the Nkuhuma might change things. Let's see how we go. Let's head back across to Brent, who has also got some buffalo, this time heading towards the Nkuhumas in a different direction.
There we go, a nice breeding herd has come down towards the Gowrie Dam, and they're a bit skittish, but I think all the buffalo are skittish in this area at the moment. They've had so many run-ins with lions recently. Now I wonder whether this sound will attract the lions. It should do if the lions are still very close by. Still no small babies. Oh, it is quite a scene. I do love big herds of buffalo. biggest herd of buffalo I've ever seen was in northern Botswana, and there were over 5,000 in one herd.
Nyanyari is now mobile north in your drainage towards where the lions were. I think I might hang around this area for a little bit longer.
Copy. Now Jamie's got another herd of buffalo heading in the Mawati River, around where the lions were sleeping. So, there could be a bit of action early on this sunset safari. And our list is saying with this many buffalo around, I don't see much incentive for the Nkuhumas to leave anytime soon. I agree with you. Listen, there's actually quite an interesting reason for it. I'm just going to try and pop my nose up. I almost half expect to see a Nkuhuma head pop over the damn wall. And so we had about 30 mils of rain, how about 2 weeks ago or so, but the southern Sabi sands, while we had about 30 mils, only had 2 or 3 mils. So a lot of game has moved up into this northern area. It's okay, buffs. There's still more coming. So a lot more still coming from the right. You can just see there's like a long line of them heading towards the water. So far, I'd say, from what we can see, guessing probably 150 or so, but as I said, there's still more coming. Look at that one in the middle there. She's decided it's easier to drink while lying down. Making me thirsty. We could be in for a very exciting sunset safari with literally 2 herds of buffalo either side of where we left the Nkuhumas this morning. Although they're not there, I'm pretty sure they can hear this. Or if not this herd, the other herd. Andre, are you up for a challenge? Oh, he landed. Darn. If we go back to that buffalo sleeping in the corner, the one is in the water, just go just beyond to the left. There's a little bird on the edge of the water. Yeah, a little 3-banded plover that was literally zigging and zagging in between the buffalo, trying to find a spot to land. We found one at the head of the water hole rather than the tail. Dispatch Griffin is wondering, when the drainage lines turn into rivers, how does that impact the drive? Very seldom does it actually impact the drive. When those rivers flow, they flow for a very short period, and we can probably cross them with an hour or 2 of them flowing. And it's very seldom that they'll ever flow for days upon days. So still more coming, but the rest seem to be a bit settled. Now we are right in the Djuma dam hand basin, and I keep sort of half expecting to see an Nkuhuma head pop up over the dam wall looking at us, and looking, or more definitely not looking at us, but looking at the buffalo. as we pan across, there we go, a little bit more, Jean-Andre. Oh, there's that one. That's probably about the youngest buffalo I've seen in quite some time. I have been keeping my eye out on the herd, and that one's already over about 2 years old. So very few youngsters have survived the drought. But while we sit here, I think I'm just going to wait a little bit here to see if the Nkuhumas do make an appearance. And while we do that, we can go see how Jamie's search for the lions with the other buffalo herd is going.
I'm currently moving very slowly back in the direction towards where Brent was. Our herd of buffalo is so terrified. They keep running this way and that way and this way and that way. They know that the lions are here somewhere. They can obviously smell them, and they don't know exactly where they are, and it's making them exceptionally nervous with all of this wind. Now, I did have sight of them a moment ago, but I have since lost it. And I figured that the lions have either been chased north or south, because I don't think they've gone very far west. There's a lion. There's a lion. Hey, Jerry! Well spotted. Where did you come from? Where have you been? Why are you here where both Brent and I have checked? Oh, and she's going back in. This is most perplexing. Brent, one fuzzy mobile north along Twin Dams. Just north of the Wahlbergs Junction, but she's going into the Mulwati now. Where does she come from? Oh, she's going into the Shkova now. How exciting is this? We've both driven past here. The cubs must be here. Now, Adrian, you were wondering how good a lion's hearing is. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with this lion, but she is moving particularly quickly. Now, Adrian, a lion's hearing is unbelievably good. Very good. So she will be able to hear the buffalo. A herd of buffalo is not a quiet entity. They make a great deal of noise. Jeepers, she's going fast. She's contact calling, actually. I wonder if they got separated by the lions chasing them. Right, let's catch up again. The only problem is once we're in this drainage line, we are not getting anywhere anytime fast. She also looks very full. Very full. I wonder if the Nkuhumas have eaten. Hello, girl. Where have you been hiding, and what on earth is going on? Calling. Let's just see where she decides to go. She's contact calling. This lioness is not interested in hunting buffalo. I can't tell if that blood around her is from a kill or hers. I don't think it's hers. What's on her elbow there? Is that stomach contents, maybe? Did the Nkuhumas make a kill? It would explain why the elephants have been so nervous. Perhaps they encountered them. She's still calling. Okay. This is a mystery to be solved. I wonder if the Nkuhumas didn't make a kill right somewhere close to Inga's. It's possible. If it was something small, Brent and myself might not have heard it. Hold on, everybody. Oh! I wish I could have seen where she's come from. My guess is not quite in front of Inger's. I think Brent and I would have heard them feeding if they were right outside quite literally right outside our bedroom window. So my guess is further that way. I don't see any more lionesses on their way. Perhaps our skittish buffalo herd had already encountered them. Where is she gone now? Where is she? I think that's her there. Got her. Hold on. She's now standing in a guarri bush. I'm not entirely sure why. This is all very interesting. I think they've made a kill somewhere. Oh, where's she gone now? This is not the easiest area. It's full of potholes. She's calling. There she comes. Just listen. You can hear her. There's no point in repositioning for a better view just yet because she's still moving. She's looking for the rest of the pride. Is it because she's made a kill and she's trying to call them? Perhaps the rest of them have been chased by the elephants. Hold on. This is a bit bumpy. Woo! She's going to come out in front of us. Unfortunately, this is the angle we're going to have to go with for now. I want to just make sure our engine is off so that we can hear her and she can hear the rest of the pride. Orbs, she's mobile now into the drainage again. I think, is it Aubrey or Tax? Aubrey. Still calling. Let's go catch up with her. Once we're in here though, she came out of that block to the south of where that Wahlberg's nest. I'm not sure if she hasn't made a kill. Where is she gone? Okie dokie. I can see her now moving. She's looking for the rest of the pride. I think they've been chased by elephants. She might even be looking for just the cubs. She's mobile south again down the drainage. Maybe that 2-track from this morning. Sorry everybody, it's difficult to try and tell everybody who's asking me constantly where to go. The answer is I don't know where to send them just yet. Negative, there were lots and lots of Ellies here earlier. They must have been chased. Oh! Come on, don't forget. Okay. Hi everybody! Oh, I see. Do you mind if I nip round you? They found themselves a little scrub hare. We can come back and have a look at the scrub hare. Let's go figure out what this lioness is doing first. think half the pride has been chased. The cubs have been chased away. I wonder if the lionesses didn't leave them there, go hunting, and then return to find that the cubs have, true to instinct, which is a good thing, run away. Now, Roger, you were wondering, you were saying, I hope the cats are okay. I think they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. For the most part, injuries or lion cubs or even lions killed by elephants are not very high in number. It's very, very unusual. Just before we go down, because I can't easily get back out, let's just stop and listen. See if she's still calling. Chances are if she's made a kill, she's gonna, when she does find the cubs, she's going to come back this way. Orbs, you can make your way down and around me if you want. I haven't got visual of her at the moment. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure if it's your radio or my radio that's not working well.
Jumping fast.
Can hear her. She's coming back around. There she's in here. She's still calling. No, she's not. She's here. She's already south and east of me now. I'm just taking my earpiece out for 1 second, just to try and get a direction. I think she's in here. Yeah, she's definitely in here. She's calling more urgently now, slightly louder. Oof, if I risk this anymore, we're going to go tumbling down into the drainage itself. Let's head back and try and get around to where she is. I can hear her in here. Just here. In fact, no, that's not her. Alright, hold on everybody. Let's see if we can solve this mystery. Am I going to reverse into a hole if I go back this way? No. Now am I going to? That's unfortunate. Thanks for the warning. I think they came out. Oh, I can still hear her. I think lionesses came out, hunted, caught something, and now they've lost the cubs because the cubs are being chased. There she is.
Afternoon, all mobile stations, any updates?
Where is she? I can hear her. There she comes. Okay. Which way are you going to go now, girl? Sorry, everybody. I know she's right behind the vehicle. When she's close to us like this, I'm trying to minimize the amount of noise around her so that if the cubs do call back, she will be able to hear them. Alrighty. Let us. Poor Jerry's having to, and VM are having to perform acrobatics on the back here. Oh no. Sorry, everybody. And back again. Okay, she's going back in. She's going in that side. Okay. Let's try and move out of everybody's way. Having blocked the guest pictures completely and very efficiently. I didn't do it though, the lioness did. I feel very guilty. I've got some very dirty looks from the guests on the back of the vehicle. Sorry. We're just going to let Aubrey go ahead to make up for that slight faux pas. There we go. William's telling them that they've got to kill that. The rest of the pride has gone this way. Copy. I thought I saw those in Konzo, but she came from that direction. Now, Mary, you are slightly freaking out that they've lost the cubs again. They've lost somebody. Remember how I said at the very start of the Sunset Drive to Brent, you've got a cub track right next to your wheel. The cub tracks are right there where we've just come past. Now, Aubrey's going along that way to see whether or not the cubs are there. She might even just have gone looking for one of her sisters. Orbs, will you keep me updated that side? I'm going to stay with her. In theory, I'm going to try and stay with her. I know that many of you are very worried about the cubs. I'm sure the cubs are fine. I think this happens more than we realize. It can't be... You got her there. It can't be that easy to keep track of an entire bundle of 8 cubs when you've got to go out and do the grocery shopping and hope that they're still where you left them. Oh, she's definitely made a kill. That's definitely blood. And it's not hers. You ladies are incredible. Windy day, settled spot by a waterhole. She'll find them. She's determined. Although she should probably stop searching the places she's searched already. Although maybe there's method to what she's doing. Go, call, wait, come back and check. Go, call, wait, come back and check. I guess that makes sense. No, I'll leave Aubrey to track. Where would those cubs have run? She is going to keep... It's not going to be like the situation where the 2 cubs disappeared, and the reason it's not is because she's clearly looking, she's either looking for 8 cubs or she's looking for another member of the pride. But when the 2 little cubs went missing, the lionesses were not calling. Look, she's now actually sniffing really, really carefully. She's got her nose right in the guarri bush. Now she's actively searching, whereas with the 2 missing cubs, the lionesses didn't actively search for too long. Here she's clearly focused. She's still, you can hear she's still calling. Sorry, I'm having major problems with my game drive comms, which isn't helping because I'm trying to hear what Aubrey's saying, because he's gone to look for the kill that she's made. Okay, back we go. Still calling. Now what also sometimes happens is she might have got separated from the rest of the group, killed something on her own, perhaps like an Impala or a kudu, which is easily within the means of a lioness. The rest of the pride might have killed something else, again, easily possible for the Nkuhumas, part of the same herd perhaps. Come on, Wendy. Up you go. Wendy's still having minor power problems. So that's also distinctly possible, and that she got separated, and perhaps even in a situation where the cubs had been called by one of the other females. And let's try and do this. And she's gone back to fetch them with her kill, and is now very confused as to why they're all gone. Meanwhile, they've been shepherded by the other females. So that's also a distinct possibility. There we go. I can hear she's calling louder now. Standing by yours. That's her, yours. Just one, Mufuzzy. She looks as though they've got to kill somewhere, but she's looking for them at Pimpuns. Tax and Orbs are here with me as well. Enjoy, guys. Okay, these sightings are about to converge, I think. Let's send you back across to Brent as that lioness makes her way in that direction. Oh, she led her.
Now we just came to have a look here. These elephants just trumpeted at something and took off. But apparently I just heard the lion's about to join us. With all the buffalo, there's Impala and elephants. But I'm just going to swing around because apparently that lion is on its way here. Just get hold of Jamie. Jamie. Oh, there's an old female here. And a yellow-billed Oxpecker, yay!
Section, confirm there should be movers there.
Look at that, yellow.
Positive, Aubrey's leading more to the south from where I am, but she's just going up and down here.
Look at that, we haven't seen them for so long. I'm quite excited. I haven't seen a yellow-billed Oxpecker in quite some time. And it's on a very old buffalo cow.
I'm going to take a standby unit there. Thanks.
Well, we're not doing too bad with birding while surrounded by big game so far on this sunset safari. Off it goes. Now I'm just going to try and get hold of Jamie.
She's going down now.
Let's buffalo moving away. I just want to see where they're going. I think they're going to head north. Why are you looking so jumpy? Oh, look. There's a... Look, there's a bushbuck. Do you see the bushbuck, Chandra? Okay, where are you? I'm just looking. A little bit to the right. To the right of the eddies. Zoom. There, at the back, a little bit. Right at the back, at the edge of the bush. Oh, look there. My favourite antelope. The bushbuck. What's all happening here? We've got buffalo, we've got elephants, we've got impala, bushbuck.
Back here again, but you just went more north into the drainage line.
Okay, I'm gonna wait here for a
I'm
while.
just listening to the radio for a second. Oh, it's a big herd of impala jogging down into the basin. There we go, here they come. I love the fact when one impala starts running.
Aubrey, do you know where she did come from? Just on the north side of the dam, or the southern side of the dam.
Okay, we're just going to sit here and actually I want to know what those elephants are so upset about. Oh dear. I don't know whether it's just a young bull being really upset with the buffalo and chasing them around, because the buffalo look quite calm. Yes, see, there's an elephant on the other side of the buffalo. Maybe that's what's happening. Where did that elephant go? There it is. Look at him chasing it. Look, he's charging the herd. In the distance, I just saw him charging through the buffalo. You can hear him. Yeah, coming straight over the termite mound. Right through the middle. So I think, there he go. Got left behind by the rest of the herd we just saw, and then suddenly had a wall of buffalo between her and the rest of her herd, and so decided that the most direct route was probably... Oof, noises. It's okay, girlie. So she's trying to communicate to the rest of the herd now. We can still hear her. And the rest of the herd have headed further to the west, and the buffalo look quite nonplussed after being plummeted through the centre of. You can hear a lion calling. I can hear a lion roaring. So I got an elephant screaming and a lion roaring, got a buffalo herd, don't know where to go. Elephant's still screaming. Maybe it's the rest of the pride that she's looking for. You see something? Or are you just coughing? Okay. Next time, please say, "Excuse me, Jean-Jacques." I'm joking. No, for coughing. I think there was something attacking us from behind. Okay, so it sounded like there was a lion around here somewhere. Wow. That elephant is really upset, still screaming away. It sounds like Taxon's got tracks for the rest of the pride heading south. Now, we've just heard that, I didn't think it was quite, I think it was a bit more than a contact call. I'm just going to listen for a second. It sounded more like a sort of halfway between a roar and a contact call, where Chai Connie is wondering, how far can a lioness's contact call be heard from? All depends on the wind, but not normally from too I think it's the same lioness that's with Jamie. Directly in front of us here.
Are you happy for me to stay with us for the umbrella? And there's 3 vehicles on lock now, but if you do want to come back in, just let me know.
So I'm sure that's the one Jamie's with, you can hear. Sorry, Connie. So probably not more than a kilometre or so at most. And with a wind like this, if those animals are south and she's to the north, not even that. I mean, a couple of 100 meters. You'd have to be very close for them to hear when she's doing that low calling. I think Jamie's going to stay with this lioness, and I'm going to do a bit of a wider loop to see if there's anything else further to the south. So, while we go see if we can find the rest of the pride, let's go back to Jamie, who's got a lion in the hand.
You say a lion in hand, but she is now in the bush, which I suppose is a very weird variant of that proverb. I think she's going to lead us to the rest of the pride. She just hadn't realized they'd come in this direction as well. She knows it now. She's been following their scent trail. I've been watching her do it, and she's going to lead us there. We just have to follow on behind. Here we go. Oh, Rob in Liverpool. Lovely to hear from you, and thank you for sending through your question. Rob, you wanted to know how long a lioness can be separated from the rest of her pride. It depends on the reason, Rob. The most common reason, of course, would be mating, in which case she'd be separate from the pride for a good 5 or 6 days whilst she's mating with a male. She could be separated from the rest of her pride for weeks, months even at a time, particularly in a situation where she's got cubs and the rest of the pride don't, and there's a male takeover, which kind of what happened to the Nkuhumas at one point, where they were separated from the rest of the group. So I think it was the oldest female and the sub-adult that were, for a long time, they were separate from the other 3, the amber eyes and the 2 young females. And we noticed that happening a great deal in the initial stages of the Birmingham boy takeover. So it can be quite a frequent thing. It happens very, very often in certain circumstances. After a certain amount of time, though, there's a good chance that the lioness will not rejoin her pride permanently. So I'm talking about for months at a time. If she's gone for over a year, then there is a chance that she'll stay separate. That being said, there are exceptions to that rule. So there's often cases of lionesses be gone for up to a year, even longer, and then reuniting with their pride and staying with them for the rest of their lives. It's entirely circumstantial. I'd love to know what the story was here. I think 2 things got chased. I think pride went one way, she went another. She killed something on her own. She's come back to the last place that she knows the cubs were, going, guys, I got us food, I got us food. And they've already got food somewhere else. You know, all along, I wonder if those elephants weren't a really good indication as to what was going on there. She seems to be leading us straight to them. Our very start of the sunset safari with that upset elephant cow. And I said perhaps they'd encountered lions. Perhaps that happened much earlier, or perhaps that happened to be much closer than I realized. Where's she gone? Oh yes, there is a kill in that tree. I wonder how long that's been there. Right, a kill in a marula tree. Okay, now what? How fresh is that kill in the marula tree? What do we investigate first? How long has that been there? How did we miss it? Is Karula here somewhere? That would be ridiculous. Oh, what to do? Okay, Taxon's on the Lioness. Let's go and have a look at that kill. Let's just see how fresh it is. My goodness gracious, have we missed something so close? What? No. It's not a kill. Is it? It's a piece of bark. It's a piece of bark. I don't know how it's fallen like that, but it's a piece of bark. Alright. Nature, distraction number 1. I see it. We were fooled, but that we're going to get right back on the trail of the lioness. I feel silly, especially because Taxon must think I'm really silly now. It was into the sun in my defense. Just checking here for lion tracks as we go along. She's now cut a little bit towards Philemon's dip. Right, as we go crashing through, I need to concentrate on finding out what's happening. Let's head across to Brent.
While Jamie follows that lioness, I've just headed a little bit further south, and I'm just making sure that there isn't a kill or something around here. And I think once I've looped through here, I might go take a gander even further south, see if we find any sign of Queen Karula.
Yeah, over here, Jamie, and still looking at my body, trying to see where she's going. Nothing else changed.
Sorry, I just need to check.
Okay, so it's, yeah. Ahora te encuentro here, me tiraron
There we go. So Aubrey had the exact same idea as me, and he says the tracks are up there. I didn't realise that, so he's had the exact same idea. The tracks are heading further to the south. Annie's wondering if there's been any update on the Styx Pride, and Annie there has. They were on a buffalo kill with one of the Birminghams a couple of days ago, and there are still 2 cubs, but they're not looking well. Almost no hair on them whatsoever. Okay, it seems like there's about to be a traffic jam down there. That lioness is still heading that way, so we're going to head... Oh! Lion and buffalo? Individual standoff. Oh, where did that come from? Aubrey, I was behind you. There's a buffalo chasing one Satyangala here. I think that... So there's... Now, look at this. Isn't this absolutely incredible? You can see the blood on her. I can't see if there's any damage to the buffalo just yet. Now, where are the rest of the pride? Yeah, I've got one Satyangala and one Nyari chasing her on the Jigga Jigga road, but back to the west. She's calling. Buffalo, what are you doing by yourself? Oh, look, as the buffalo turns, oh, and then the buffalo turned around. So as the buffalo turned its back to her, she immediately, that instinctive, let me jump on you.
Do you want me to go to the south and south of Nkuhuma?
Oh, look at this. Come wider, John Day.
Oh, plane coming?
Look at that. So now, that buffalo, every time she turns around, maybe the lioness is trying to chase her. Now, will the buffalo take a chance to escape, or is she going to keep pushing home her advantage? It wouldn't be incredible if a male lion sort of bursts out of the drainage line. Tactics, let me lead the buffalo towards the pride. And you can see that buffalo's hips showing. She's still calling. Try and get a bit closer. Oh, now wait. Let's see what happens if that. So every time that buffalo's turned her back and tried to move away from the lion's come for her again. So I can't see the lion. Can you, Jean-Andre? And she's there just ahead of that buffalo. Can still hear her calling. Okay, let's go a bit closer. There we go. We'll just make them out through there. Okay. She's still chasing. It's the buffalo taking her chance. Oh, see, as soon as that buffalo turns around, the lioness pops up behind her again. Now, this is a buffalo cow. Monty's wondering how far away is the herd. Monty, there's multiple herds around, so it's difficult to say. But the herd we were with is actually quite far from her now. That buffalo knows as soon as it turns and runs, it could be trouble. It looks like the lioness might give up. but will the instinct of the buffalo to put forward its advantage take over? She left now. Is she going to head into the drainage?
Almost straight southeast. But chill up here. If it look nicely somewhere.
Oh, there she is. She's going to come out across. What do you got there? Sorry, John, I was watching the lion. Yeah, how skinny she is. Yes, she is not in the greatest condition, but the lioness has left her. So good on you, girlie. You managed to see off the Nkuhuma, the single Nkuhuma. Just find out. We're gonna. Oh, something else has spotted it. Impala. Can you hear them snorting?
Heading along the ground cut line for your turn down. For your approach.
Can you copy me? It's yours from article.
Okay. Well done, Buff.
Osprey, and we coming along the Gowrie cut line. Can we approach for your turn?
Yeah, what I did is I've left the area because Dixon is there, Aubrey is there, and Jamie is there. They're still looking for that Impala, so I think we must stay away a little bit. But,
Okay, well done, old girl. That's why she survived. She's got not only the genetic makeup to make it through the drought, but she's also got those instinctive wiles to defend a lion. So, okay, we're gonna. Now, Auntie Lynn was wondering over that lioness's chances would have increased if it managed to get the buffalo into a thicket. Not necessarily. I think the best way for that lioness to increase her chances is to add another lioness. But I think that was more of an instinctive attack and chase, and they just she happened to come upon it. But she's looks like she's already made a kill somewhere. She's just looking for the rest of the pride. Let's see where Jamie is. Jamie. Jamie, do you still have that other lioness?
Negative bridge, I think that's the one you've got, or had. I'm on Chilling Plan at the moment, just checking carefully for tracks.
Copy, thanks, Joe. We've lost her. She went down into the drainage heading south. Or we, I think, might have her on the other side. Okay, we'll just keep checking this here.
In hindsight, I think those Yari that we had that was so nervous, I think they've probably got one of them something here.
Copy, thanks. So, has Jamie, she's checking where the tracks of the rest of the pride are going. And in the beginning of drive, she said she had some really nervous buffalo. And it could be a strong possibility that one of those buffalo fell to their incredible Nkuhumas. But let's go hear it from Jamie herself.
We are still on the search for these lions. Where have they gone? What has happened? Hindsight is an interesting thing, because we were wondering about that herd of... Sorry, trying to listen to the game drive comms as well, with half an ear and half a brain. Wondering about that buffalo herd that was... Sorry. You get that gormless expression that we do when we trying to listen to the game drive comms at the same time. Just to figure out where these lions are. They're on a kill. I'm sure they've got a buffalo. I'm sure that is the reason that our herd was as nervous as they were, and now it's just a matter of figuring out where, and it's probably somewhere in the block off to my right. I just want to make really sure that we don't miss any tracks. I'm probably going to do one more circuit and then leave it up to Brent, depending on what he's planning on doing. Both, at some point, Aubrey, Tax and myself and Brent are going to find them. It's just a matter of working out exactly where they are. In fact, I I think they're closer to that side, and I almost want to go and sit and listen. Where should we go and sit and listen? Let's find a nice spot. There's also a suspicious lack of all other general game, which also makes me think there was a buffalo chase through this area. Now, Tether Apocalypse, my apologies. You are a new viewer. Cheddar Apocalypse. Cheddar Apocalypse, that sounds terrifying. Cheddar Apocalypse, you want to know what we mean by drainage. So a drainage system is exactly that. It's where water drains, and essentially what it makes is an almost like a creek system or a river system. So let me show you. I'll show you an example here. This is perhaps not the best example. No, we'll start with this because this is how it starts. So we've got an erosion gully here. So essentially where the water's been running down and it's washed away and created this, what we would in South Africa would call a donga, that then runs into a depression that is essentially a dried up river. Here, look, I'll show you. Gives us a nice chance to stop and listen as well. Come, let's go down into the drainage line, and then I can show you exactly what I mean. This is a big drainage line. It's the biggest drainage line on Djuma. It's also sort of what you would know as a creek system, except drainage lines tend to be dry for the most part and run only when there is plenty of rain, which of course we have not had terribly much of that at all. Here we go. Voila. A drainage line. As you can see, it's got tire tracks.
Anything happening that side?
Just checking for some tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's very loud. Let me turn that down. So no tracks of the Pride coming here. I just heard over the radio, that's why it was so loud, because I was wandering around, that there seen some vultures down there. But Jamie and Tax and Aubrey, I'm quite certain, have this under control. So why don't we go look for a leopard? Now I think, we can only sort of guess at what happened, is that possibly a herd of buffalo wandered into the Nkuhumas during the heat of the day. And we didn't hear anything, but that's, with the strong wind we've got at the moment, that's probably quite likely. If the wind was blowing in the wrong direction, we wouldn't have heard anything during the day. But still exciting stuff. Action all over the place. Now, what's happened is that why we've suddenly got this massive influx of buffalo and even more elephant than we had before, which seems near impossible, is when we had that rain, as I said, we've had about 30 or so millimeters up here. Down south towards the Sand River, they had 2 or 3 mils. So I think that's pushed a lot of the buffalo further to the north. What track's that? There's buffalo tracks running in every which direction around here. I think we'll go down south towards a tree house, and or maybe take Shabam, see if maybe the Queen has decided to grace us with her presence. There's just buffalo tracks everywhere. Everywhere I look, buffalo tracks. Masses of buffalo on Djuma at the moment. Quite nice. We haven't had this many buffalo for a long time. thirsty work out here. Fortunately, my water is a little bit cleaner than the pans. We'll leave Steph to drink out of the pans. I think I'll keep my ice water with me. Yeah, well, we're going to keep slowly meandering through, checking around here. While we do that, it seems like Jamie's found some signal again.
And I do apologise for disappearing off your screens like that. Apparently the drainage line explanation was a little bit too much for Wendy's signal. But look who we found again, our poor herd of elephants that we encountered at the start of the Sunset Safari that were terribly, not unimpressed with us, but just sort of gave us a gentle note not to come any closer, the ones that encountered the lions. And now we're back with them once again. We are seriously hotting up in terms of finding these lions. I think that Brent will be on his way to where Aubrey and Taxon are directing us to their tracks. Tax has found a whole load of vultures, so there we go, we're going to find them very soon. In which case, I'm content. Excuse me. That wasn't what I was content to do. I was going to say I'm content to sit with these elephants and enjoy their company a little bit. And so I'm relatively certain that Tax is about to find the kill and Brent's about to be there.